right. We are live. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me send this message out to Mr. Carey. Okay. Just sent you the invite, Carey. You should have it by now. All right. My brother, how are you?
Good man, how you doing? Hold on, let me turn this up real quick. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. You
There
look
you go.
great,
Boom,
man. You
boom,
look
boom.
great.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, how you been?
I've been great. Just working, putting my business together, going into next year, which is actually this year. Just structuring it. How about you?
Been good, man. Doing the same. Trying to get these gains in and going with a more determination in my mindset. So
Good, good. Because you got a lot going on with you anyway. I see your workouts. I see what you're doing in the financial sector. You're pretty much bringing both together because that's what you need, either a financial mindset and a mindset that's focused on physical fitness too. So
yep.
you're doing great. You're doing definitely good.
I'm trying to be like you, man.
We all doing great.
Yep.
Everybody here is amazing in our own individual way, and we all have individual powers and skill sets. So that's what makes us great, you
Yep.
know?
You're
Yeah.
right, you're right.
All right, let's get started. This is going to be great, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm your host, Jesse, and this is my brother right here. Could you introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, sir. My name is Kerry Murray, and I'm the CEO of Superset Financial.
Yes, he is. He's going to set us off today on this new year with a new mindset and get our finances in order. Because as we know, as we're going into the first quarter, which we're in right now, we have to make sure we're structuring ourselves and we're allowing ourselves to understand where our money is going and how to make it more productive for our future and for our children's future and our family's future if we have one or if we want to have one. We don't want to overspend or even underspend. We want to understand how to categorize different sections of where our income wants to go. So it's going
Mm.
to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm definitely am. I'm
Yeah, let's
excited.
get started. I got some questions here. Also, let me do a little bio about you because I want everybody to know who this brother is, who this amazing brother is, all the way from Pittsburgh. Come on now. Got to give it up for this guy right here. Come on, man. All the
Appreciate
way
it.
from Pittsburgh. I'm in New York City. You're in Pittsburgh. This is going to be great. So let's do this bio real quick. So Kerry brings over 15 years of experience. 15 years. Come on. In the financial industry. He's worked with major banking institutions and currently serves as a fiscal auditor for the city of Pittsburgh, where he ensures financial accountability and stewardship at the municipal level. Congratulations on that.
Thank
But
you.
that's not all. Carrie's also the founder and CEO of the Superset Financial and Company, built on his passion for financial literacy, empowerment, and helping people create generational wealth. That's what we all need. That's what we're all thinking about. What can we do not just right now, but what can we do for the next year, the next 2 years, and also the next month, and the next day? How do we fix our finances? How do we check our financial statement? What are we trying to do? And this brother right here has all the answers. I'm just here just to enjoy the experience with you too, guys.
I don't know if I have all the answers, but I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
You got this. You got this. So
Hmm.
can you give us a little more background about yourself and your education process?
In regards to
It's
the step,
finance in general, a little finance, and what inspired you to take this journey?
just probably just life experiences, man. Like stuff I've been through. Sometimes whenever when people are going through something, that's whenever you start to realize, like, okay, I need to make some changes. And that's pretty much where I was at. Just coasting and not paying attention to myself or being more like self-aware of who I am or what I
Yeah,
what I was about. So I
right.
had to take the time to get to know me or and who I am because I'm big on making sure that other people are good, but I didn't make sure I was good myself. So in order for me to have a filled cup, I got to make sure I take care of myself more, and the better I take care of myself, the more I can have it overflow. So that's
I
pretty much
agree.
how it happens, and just life experience, and it happens to everybody. You never know what someone's going through until you talk to them, and they feel comfortable talking to you. It's like, oh wow, I did
That's
not
very
know that.
true. That's very true. We're all going through different things, and our emotions are really affecting how we buy and how we spend, and also how we're budgeting ourselves. Because if we look at the economy, it's up and down.
Yep.
It's an ebb and flow, and sometimes we don't really realize that this thing is going to sometimes make us feel sad, It's going to make us feel happy, and we're going to emotionally consume the information, and that may stop us from taking on a new opportunity that can actually benefit us financially, and not just us, our children, our husband, our wife, our neighbors. Because every time we think about what we're doing financially and we consistently try to reevaluate, we're not just helping ourselves, we're helping everyone else. That's what it's all about, really, at the end of the day. That's what it's all about.
And that's the gift that we got, man. Like we got the power of we're given the power of choice. So you could choose. It's hard. It's easier said than done. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been used to having a certain habits and paradigms that's been passed down to you. But
Yeah.
it's you can literally change it, and it's up to you. Sometimes we don't feel like it, and we
Mhm.
just stay sunk in, and we don't care how bad the problem gets, um, until like you have no choice but to fix it. But why try to fix it whenever you can just change your attitude? So
That's true.
it's a lot. It's like working out, man. Resistance builds strength, man. So
It does. It builds your resistance. And the fact that you go through tragedy, it helps you reevaluate what you're trying to do so you don't repeat it.
yep,
Everything in life is all about understanding the situation and being present and not letting it take you. Being present and aware. Let your senses understand the situation, but don't let your panic dictate the situation. We have to
exactly.
understand what are some of the key factors that are happening financially, spiritually, and emotionally, depending on what your preferences are, because sometimes we have to always be right there in the moment and zero in and detailing take everything to part so we can understand where we're going. That's
Yep.
the best way to go. It
Yep.
really is. So, guys, if you guys have any questions, because I'm going to ask about 4 questions, and my brother here is going to answer. But also, if you have any questions, if you want to ask him, if there's anything that you want to know for yourself or for your family or anything else that's going on in the economy that you're facing in your own individual life, feel free to ask those questions today because we're going to get down to it. Because this is a community where we talk together, we grow together, and we build together. So let me start with the first question. Okay, can you walk us through the 7 money milestones and explain which milestone most people struggle with and why they struggle with it the most?
Yeah, I can definitely do that, man. So the first one is just the financial education. So becoming literate and finding a financial professional, which you wouldn't have to look any further. You got me right here, so I'm right
Exactly.
here. Step two is proper protection. So protecting against loss of income and then loss of savings. Step three, being able to build that emergency fund. So saving up to saving 3 to 6 months worth of income to be prepared for the unexpected. Step four will be debt management. So changing your habits and eliminating bad debt, which leads to step five, which is cash flow. So being able to earn more income and manage those expenses. And then from there it will lead you to step six, which is to build wealth. And that's pretty much beating inflation and taxes by using certain strategies that pertain to like that are tailored to you. And then step seven is protecting that wealth. So creating a legacy through wills and trust. Those are the steps. Those are the 7 steps right there. But in order for me to do so, you got to have a blueprint. So you can't build a house without a blueprint, man. So we
Exactly.
start with a financial analysis, where it's a starting point to take control of your future, man. So um, we don't guess. We look at the data that you provide. So we analyze your goals, your assets, your tax situation, and your protection needs too as well. So if you're looking at short term goals as for example like an emergency fund or long term goals like retirement, then we help you with that. And this
Mhm.
allows us to build a custom strategy tailored specifically for that person.
Okay.
And
So,
then
for
oh yeah,
example,
yes, no, yeah, there was another question too. You said
oh, no, go ahead, go
what's
ahead.
the that's you said the one what's the question, which one's
Oh,
probably the hardest one?
what they struggle with and what and why. The struggle
Okay.
and most and why.
I say debt management, man. That's step four. Changing your habits. It's hard to change something that you're used to doing,
Mm.
So, and when people want to change, they want to take big steps, and then whenever they want to take big steps, it becomes overwhelming. So that's why you have to break those steps down.
Mm.
Start light. Like me, if I'm, for example, like I use working out for analogy for everything. So if I want to build endurance to get to a certain weight, actually, I'll give you a funny story. I was doing a bodybuilding show, my first one, and like on there, it was like 10 sets of 10 of bench. I'm like, okay, that's easy. I'll just put 135 and do 10 sets of 10 benching. And Me, I'm coming from a football background, so everything's
Mm.
explosive, short and explosive. So like usually
Right,
like three
right.
to four sets or something. And so I put the 135 on. I'm benching. I'm benching. I'm benching. I was like, okay, cool. First set done. Second set done. Third set done. Fourth set. It's like I got to like five. I'm like, oh, it's getting a little hard. So and then the more I got, I was like, let me take this weight off. Took the weight out to put it down to 35.
Mhm.
Still struggled. I was like,
Right.
dang, I might have to go down to 25. And I made it. I made a goal for myself that um, if I can get 10 sets to 10 of benching this certain weight, then I'll move up. So I was doing
Okay.
10 sets to 10 of 25 on each side. And this is
Mhm.
coming from someone that I'm used to benching pretty heavy, but I didn't have the endurance to keep going. And that's what I had to do. So you have to start small and track it, and then like when you see that and see it concrete on with everything that you've written down, it builds more confidence because like I said, repetition builds it, and then now you want to
Mhm.
take on more. So it's changing the habits. That's I feel like that would be the hardest part, especially when you're
Okay.
used to doing the opposite.
Mm. Do you think if we're changing the habits, should we consult a financial literacy expert like yourself, or should we do some internal searching? Because I know sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't want to talk to a person. I feel ashamed. I feel embarrassed. How did I get into so much debt? How do I deal with this? How do I tell my wife? How do I tell myself? How do I figure this out?" It's like all the questions and anxiety. Should they come to you first, or should they do a self check first before they do it?
So they both do self check first, and then you gotta be you gotta be around people who don't judge you because everybody makes mistakes.
Mm.
I'm the last person to judge anybody. I made my share of mistakes. Everybody has.
Me
So
too.
it's them becoming comfortable and probably doing that self realization of themselves that I need help. And
Yeah,
sometimes we don't do that.
yeah, yeah.
And that's hard. So we're burdening we're in this big burden of debt, anxiety, stress,
Yeah,
and because we feel ashamed to talk to somebody about it.
very true.
But
Very true.
and I understand like there's some people like you gotta be careful. Some people don't have your best interests at hand.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have to be careful. And money it's a touchy subject with a lot, and especially in this day and age with social media, you get a lot of people that they have a perception of themselves, and it's the opposite of what the reality is. So
very true. Very true. And so they're trying to keep up with what someone else just did in a post, and they think, okay, I need to do what they just did, but you don't know the process.
yeah,
Everything has a process. To be rich, it takes a process. To be successful is a process. To even be financially, I guess, unstable, there's a process to that too. So
yep,
we must take the time to understand what steps are needed to change and what steps are needed to improve. That's very important. Having the right person to talk to and doing that self check. And once you do talk to that person, be open because their job is to help you.
yep,
They're not here to hurt you because you're an expert. You've been doing this for over 15 years. You're accredited, you have the experience. So go to the person who knows where you're at, who can meet you where you're at, who can take you through all the steps. That's very true. I like
yep.
that. That's a good answer. I like that.
So, but yeah, like I said, it's on them. They have to want to do it. Have the will to do it. It's a
Yeah,
scary thing because like you do get embarrassed, but once you talk to somebody and you don't see, people that they're making faces like, oh my god, like what's going on? Like you
yeah,
did
yeah.
that? Yeah, I'm no better than you.
Right. We've all done it.
It's yeah, we all done it.
I've
We've all
done it.
done
I've
it.
done certain things I shouldn't buy. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have went there. I shouldn't went on that vacation. I'm like, yeah, who cares? Let me just do it. Now I come back, like, wow. I
Hmm.
really wet the red right now. My pockets are empty. Now I have to go hustle. I have to do more of whatever it was I had to do in the first place. I have to tell somebody about this. I have to borrow money. Now I'm increasing my debt because I'm borrowing from somewhere where I
Yep.
know I can't pay back and I'm borrowing from somebody I know, which can actually strain your relationship too, because you're not telling them what your financial situation really is. So that's another conversation that you have to have. If you're in debt, you have to make sure if you're going to borrow, you have to pay back what you borrow, or you have to communicate this that you're not able to do it at the time that you are expecting them to have, or they're expecting you to give it to. So there's a lot of different conversations. That's very true. Makes a lot of sense. Let me
And
go to
having
the
having the
second.
courage to do that, like they know they
Yeah,
know they
yeah,
know
you
what to
have
do.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get to the next one. When it comes to the rule of 72 and compound growth, what's the biggest mistake people make when trying to grow their money and how can we avoid it?
Not doing it or waiting too late, procrastination, man.
Mm.
It's that's it right there. You know, you thinking that you have all the time in the world to do this. Like, oh, I got time. I got time. You know,
Right.
like it would seem like yesterday I was in college, man. I blink and now I'm older than what I am. Got grays in my beard, and
That's
it's
wisdom. That's wisdom.
yeah, wisdom, yeah, wisdom. I got wisdom whiskers. That's what I But that's it, man. Like it's really procrastination on not doing it at all. Like for
Mm.
example, so for those who don't know what the rule of 72 is, it's a concept that Albert Einstein came up with, where you take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate that you're getting on your money. So, for example, we'll do um, like 9%. Oh, like it's the money that is 72 is a number that they use um, based off the interest rate that you got to see how long it takes for your money to double.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
so for example, so say you have an interest rate of like 9%.
Mhm.
Okay, so for 9%, Um, the amount of time it takes for the money to double, if you divide 72 divided by 9, is 8 years. So it takes 8 years for your money to double.
Really?
That's the rule of 72.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, so for example, so say you all right, say you're 25 years old, you know, you're a young whippersnapper, you know, you're in the workforce and you ready to get started. And you're working at a job for 40, you know, for 40 years, but you have some additional income that you want to put towards an account that earns 9%.
Yeah.
So you work from 25 to 65. So that's about 40 years. You work
Mhm.
40 years. All right. So the amount of time that your money doubles between that time, it doubles 5 times because you
Mhm.
started early.
Mhm.
So say you put
Makes sense. Makes
say you put 10,000. So 10,000 times 2 20,000. 20,000 times 2 40,000 and so on. So I think it's like
sense.
300 something thousand if it doubles 5 times. You know,
Right.
so that is the power of starting now and realizing what you're getting. That's is important. Then also realizing if you do or if you are doing that, what fees are associated with that. So say for example again, you got 9%, but then the fee is like 2%. So now you're getting a 7%, like 7% rate of return on whatever you're
Mhm.
getting on that interest rate. So now instead of it taking 8 years for that money to double with the 9%, it's going to take 10 years and some change for that money to double because now
Mhm.
the interest rate is 7%.
Really?
You know, so it's a lot of stuff that goes into it, man. Like it's definitely that, but procrastination is the biggest thing.
Hmm.
Damn, I would have done this earlier. Or they really solely depended on that retirement fund where they retired, but now they realize with inflation, oh, that's another thing too, inflation, um, and everything, the cost of living, medical, you now you got to go back into the workforce, you
Hmm.
know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a domino effect, man. That's why health is wealth. You got really got to take care of yourself to make sure you to limit any type of medical cost that you have going on, and really being
Mhm.
aware of where your money is going and
Very
what you're
true.
doing with it.
Do you think it's too late at certain ages to invest when it comes to financial literacy, or do you think is it either too late or too early or never at all? You can always do it no matter the time, no matter the age.
I think it's never too late. It's just a lot of variables, man. Like it's just like there's a lot of work that you got to put into.
Mhm.
I'm a pretty positive guy, but like if you're like 60, 70, that's a little rough, man. You know,
Maybe a little
so.
harder, a little harder.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you worked hard and know that you're in this position now, and you need a game plan or a certain way to there's different ways to make money. You don't it doesn't have to always be labor. You always don't have to go to work. You can go the entrepreneur route too as well,
Yeah.
depending what it is. But it's the will to do it. You have to have the will. If you don't have the
Right.
will, it's not gonna work out for you.
That's very true. When you're starting young, what just say you want to start at 18 and you've just started working for the first time, you may be living at home or you're in college and you're trying to get the ins and outs. What should they really invest themselves into so they can approach a financial literacy advisor or an advisor such as yourself or someone else in their own community that has financial experiences that they do not have? How should they, I guess, break it down in the way that they can understand or see the gains in the next 10 years? Because investment or understanding financial literacy is a lifelong goal. It's not just one thing you're going to do. It's a series of different things that you're going to have to do and have to learn. And you have to be mentally fit, just like fitness, because you're a very fit guy. There are certain things that you have to do every single day, every single week. Of course, it's a mental, but what are some of the financial, I guess, fitness tips that you should be doing during that process?
Knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power, man. And then do it to the point where, like I said, reps. Like do it to the point where you're able to explain it to a 5 year old. That's how
Hmm.
you know you really got it. So it's you really got to take the time. I mean, if anything, the government needs to input in play put in place financial literacy in school. But
First
that's
grade.
that's a whole.
That should, I believe, I agree with you. It should be in the first grade because if we can learn at we'll just say 6, 7 years old how to build an app or how to open a phone, we can learn basic financial literacy because we're already learning 1 plus 1 is 2. So
Mhm.
we can break it down to where the children can understand it at an elementary level, and then as they get older, we'll gauge their process. We can at this particular time in our society, there are no real limits to education. I agree with what you're saying, and I think we shouldn't have to have our platforms on the outskirts. It should be more mainstream and people teaching this because we're at a risk right now in our society where the debt is rising at an all-time high, and we need to understand what debt means and how that's going to affect not just us, our overall community. So I agree with you 100%.
Mhm. And kids are amazing, man. Like I've just seen a video of this kid doing um some crazy gymnastics. They had to be no older than 4 or 5 doing it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
like, and they're sponges too. So that's the best time to do it. They soak in
Yeah, yeah.
everything. If they can learn 6 or 7 languages, like they can definitely learn financial literacy as well. So it just like I said, it's taking the time to do it, and they have to want to do it now. If because we growing up, we weren't really taught that unless your parents taught you already.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Got to make it fun. You have to like meet them where they're at. They're children, so you have to break it down. So you may even have to do a little some puppets or a coloring book designed for financial literacy. Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Oh, never
No, yeah,
mind.
no,
That's
no,
a
you
good
good.
idea.
Hey,
That's
hey,
a good
hey,
idea.
run with that, man. Run with that. I
That's a
like
good
that. Yeah,
idea.
no, run with that. And they do
Yeah,
have books. They have games too. There's
yeah.
I think it's called Cash Flow. I
I've
can't
heard of
pronounce it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I think it was made by the Rich Dad Poor Dad author. But
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, or Cash Flow Quadrant or something like that. But yeah,
Yes.
it's a good game, and it pretty much teaches you about money and everything like that. So it's just the will to do it and staying with it. So.
Very true. Very true. I like this. This is good. We got a good flow going. I hope you guys are learning some good lessons. Also, if you guys have questions, feel free to put some questions in the comment section and we'll get to that too. I got 2 more questions and then we're going to go into something else. Okay. You talk about the 3 types of growth: fixed, variable, and index. How should someone decide which strategy is right for them based on where they are in their financial journey? We talked a little bit about that, but I know you can go more into that.
Yes, it all depends on. Honestly, it depends on that person's financial journey. Like none of them, all of them have pros and cons to it. It just depends on what you feel will be best for you at the moment. So one strategy or one growth plan might be better at one point of your life, and then another one might be better a little bit later. So, for example, like fixed strategy, like fixed growth, provides a locked in interest rate for a specific period of time. So it's like a hill. Like you know what you're getting. That you're getting to get like it's guaranteed what you're getting on the return. So it's protected by an institution, usually by like a bank, and then it's pretty much ideal for like the distribution phase. Excuse me, distribution phase of like, so for example, like retirement. Or for anybody that has a short time horizon between 1 to 3 years who cannot afford to lose any of their money. So it's a safe bet that this is what I'm getting. So some people put their money in CDs. Um, I know working at the bank, you get a lot of people who shop different CDs, like they'll have it for 3 years, then like they might go to another bank because they have a higher interest rate. Like, okay, I'm gonna move this CD over here because and like there's traditional. It's like bar hopping. You got traditional bank hoppers who go to different banks to get different interest rates. So,
I've
but it's
done that.
guaranteed. You say you done that?
I've done that. Because you want to go to the bank that's going to give you the best gain, and it also has great customer service.
Yep.
That's really important when you're going to deal with your money and finances, especially when you're nervous. You want someone to guide you through the process. So I've
Hmm.
done that. I
So
completely
yeah,
agree.
and that's why if you whenever you go into the bank, they want to get the whole relationship. They want you to open up that checking account. So that
Yeah.
way, oh, you have bills? Okay, put your bills. So now you're less likely to leave that bank because everything is tied right there. So that way you're not bank hopping.
That's
So
very true.
that's but they try to limit that. So the trade off with the fixed growth is you likely won't beat inflation significantly, but you trade the upside of the market for the certainty of the return. So it's guaranteed return.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the next one is variable growth. So that's like it's like a roller coaster. It's like a high
Yeah.
octane path. It's up and down, up
Sounds
and
like
down,
it.
up and down.
It sounds like
You
it.
know? Yeah, it is. It's a little nerve wracking if you don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
especially if you don't know what you're doing. So
Mhm.
it's the variable strategies. Variable strategies are tied directly into the market. So this is how it works. So if the market goes up 20%, then you can see similar gains. But if the market goes down, like drops 20%, your account value is going to go down with it.
Yeah.
So this is good for wealth accumulation. So this is for people, if they're 18 or between 25 or they have the funds or in the means to do so. Um, it's you do it for your retirement, but you have time to weather the market crashes too. So in exchange for maximum long term growth, but the trade off is high risk of loss.
Mhm.
So you really have to have a championship mindset to deal
Yeah.
with that type of growth right there. So
Yeah.
you really got to have an iron stomach for it because it might make you a little queasy if you look at your
Mhm.
account and see, oh man, that's a big drop. I don't know.
Well, that's not what I signed on for. You just told me one thing, and this, oh my good, you got to have, I guess, it's like a war of attrition. It's like a marathon, pretty much. It's a
Yeah.
financial marathon. It's not what you see on the first mile, it's what you see at the end of it. And you
I
have
like
to
that.
get to that end. That's very true.
Yeah,
That's very
and I
true.
like that right there. Yeah, it just you gotta be ready for that roller coaster to go up, and then when it goes down, like, are you gonna scream or are you just gonna take it in? Like, you know what, I know I'm gonna go back up.
Right, right.
So, and then the other one, it provides it's index growth, so it's a hybrid path. So it's like I was about to compare a roller coaster, but you're not from down here, so or in Pittsburgh, but it you get the best of both worlds though. So it tracks the market index, it mirrors the market. So um, but it includes a floor to prevent losses. But because there's a floor, there's going to be a cap too as well. So when the index goes up, you get a portion of those gains, like so up to the cap right there.
Mhm.
So and then when the index goes down, what you earn is going to be zero. So it's not going to go any further down. So you're not going to realize any loss. But when you do make gains, you are going to make the gain. So what it does is it provides what I call it's like a sweet spot for it.
Okay.
And for people it's good for people in their mid career or who want to participate in market, rallies, but no longer are willing to risk that 30% queasy feeling
Mhm.
on their savings. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
the trade off is your gains are capped. So if the market explodes at 30%, you might only see 10 to 12% because there's a cap in the floor.
Okay.
So
Hmm. And do you think someone should try that one first? What is your preferred one that you would give someone who just doesn't know, who's just investing it, who's just trying to understand for the first time? What do you
so
think is the
me,
best one for
I don't like feeling I don't like feeling queasy, man. So my best bet is the hybrid route. Um,
them?
Yeah, so it's the index because it gives you like a step. Like if you look at a graph, it's like a step. It goes
Mhm.
up, and then like if the market realizes a loss, it just flattens out. But then when it realizes a gain, it goes up only to the
Mhm.
cap though. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I like that route. I don't like bungee jumping or jumping
Yeah, it's
out
too
of a
much of a risk. It's a risk that you don't really want, especially when you're just trying something for the first time. Because once you get a bad experience, you might just say forget about it.
yeah,
Very true.
exactly. So,
Very
but
true.
like if I whenever I get that amount, if I had some extra money to put into the market like that, then yeah, I'll go a little like I saved up for that. That's the
Mhm.
whole point of having the whole money mindset. Like, okay, cool, I got the money to put into this. variable growth because that's what I say to do to see what happens with it, you know. But
Right,
now I
right.
got money on the side that no matter what, I'm not going to realize a loss. So I'm still always going to realize a gain for it. So
Mm,
it's all about strategy. So like I said, like one might not fit just your person, like you know, someone personally, but you might end up having to use all three
yeah,
just to balance everything out. But that's
yeah.
something that you have to learn and take the reps on. So
That's true. It's all about understanding where you are and also being confident in the process and picking the one that's actually good for you
yep,
personally, not just the one that's sexy. Oh, I'll take the variable or the index because everybody else is doing it.
yeah,
You have to understand it's something that's customized for you and no one else, and what the
hmm
risks are. That makes sense.
yep. So with
That's very
fixed,
true.
it's predictable.
Yeah,
Um, Variable, it's uncapped, so it's a high risk, and index is moderately and it's capped. So
this is a great shit. This is a great live, man. This is good. Thank you for sharing this incredible information. This is
ain't no
really good.
problem, man, no problem. I do what I can, man. I do what I
You're
can.
killing it, man. You're on level three Super Saiyan level right now. You're on
Hey,
the
that's what I need. I just need the hair to grow with it, man.
that's it. You don't need to get the beard. The beard turns
The
gold.
beard get to
That's
turn
how
gold.
you do it. My bald head turns gold to match your beard, and that's
Yeah,
how.
I like that. I'd rather have that than yeah. I'll do that. I do the gold ball head.
Yeah. Let me go to the next one. A lot of people don't realize they're unprotected financially until it's too late. What are the top 2 to 3 protections everyone should have in place right now, and what happens if they don't?
I say the top two, building that emergency fund, man. That's necessary and needed. You need that emergency fund for you know for anything that unexpected that happens. Like so, say if you lose a job or you got to end up getting a flat tire, or you need to fix something on your roof, you know, or maybe a family member or a close friend might be need some help. You're able to give them some of that money, but I say having an emergency fund is good to have first. Then also life insurance. Like for me personally, I would go with life insurance that has living benefits too. So,
Mm,
like if I become chronically ill, terminally ill, or critically ill, I'll be able to use a portion of my life insurance to be able to give my family and myself peace of mind that my medical bills are going to be paid. Whatever else I owe, if I owe, if I have a mortgage payment that's owed, I can pay that and give them peace of mind that that's all taken care of, and then my medical bill is going to be taken care of as well. The drawback, if you're not prepared for any of that, is if you don't have an emergency fund,
mm,
you're going to be forced into like predatory capital. So, without cash, or a car breaks down, or there's a 2 week gap in pay. A lot of
yeah,
people end up using the credit card, man,
right.
and some of those credit cards can have like 20% interest.
Yeah, they really do. It's like a fee.
Yeah,
You see it, but you don't pay attention to it because you're thinking
yep,
about, okay, let me just get this credit card that has, we'll just say, $5,000 on it, and I'm going to pay my bill off. But you may lose your job. The
yeah,
economy could change, and then what are you going to do then? Where do you go? Because that interest rate is going to come in at the end of the month, and especially if you try to withdraw money, that's even sometimes even higher, depending on what the rate is that you work out with the bank. And so there's certain things that you have to understand. That makes a lot of
hmm
sense.
and then what happens is it creates a debt spiral, man. So like like you're just digging yourself deeper into a bigger hole. So you aren't just paying for the emergency, you're paying for the interest on that emergency and for years to come too as well. So like it just accumulates, man. And then as far as life insurance goes, if you don't have that, um, unfortunately, a lot of conversation that I've had, there's people who like, they're like, I don't care, I'm not gonna be here. You know, like
Yeah,
I let
I'm not
them
really
like
thinking about the
I don't
next
have to worry
person.
about that no more. Not
Right, think
realizing
about the
that
next
not
person.
only do the people have to deal with, the loss of you, but they also take on your debt. If it's your mortgage, if it's your
Yep.
car, your medical bills. You know what I mean? And it causes tension amongst families because things weren't put in place to be able to handle when that time comes. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and also if that person, God forbid, that the person is a breadwinner, and they didn't have anything in place, and say they had a mortgage on the house, like they can lose. Like people who whoever the family, they can lose their home. They might end up homeless, or living with family members, and that leaves people, if it's either the husband or the spouse, like what do I do next? Like I don't know how I'm going to be able to build back up, or what I need to do to get to where I need to be now. But like yeah, you got to be, you
Yeah.
have to be proactive.
That's very true. I want you to talk about one. There's one thing that you said. You said predators. Can you talk about that portion? Because I know there's a lot of predator lenders, and there's a
Yep.
lot of people who try to swindle you because they understand that you don't really know what you're talking about as soon as you walk in. Can you talk about more of that? Go more into that.
Yeah, so like predatory lending or borrowing, like there's companies out there that will give people credit knowing for a fact that you're not gonna pay that, you know.
Exactly.
So, and I used to work at a debt collection agency, and what they would do is I was on the recovery side, so we set up people for either if they want to pay the account off in full, settle the account off in full, or make payments to pay the account off in full, or make payments to settle the account off in full. And there's a lot of people that don't understand how credit cards work, and they they accrue a big amount of debt because of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's um it's giving out money to people knowing to those people knowing that they can't afford to do it. That's why the interest rate is high. So if they miss a payment like that, it goes all the way up. It increases, pretty significantly, man. And
Yeah.
that's what it means. Like they prey on people knowing that they're not going to pay it back.
Yeah. I see a lot of that happening, especially in certain communities where there's a lot of poverty. They tend to target those communities because when you come in, they'll tell you you can get this and you can get that. And don't worry about paying. The first year you don't have to pay, or the first month you don't have to pay. And we'll always take you through the process. But sometimes the first person you meet is not the last person you meet. You're meeting
Hmm.
someone else, and that can confuse you, thereby throwing you off, causing you to go through a downward spiral of depression. And also, when you're depressed, because you can't communicate what your issues are financially, you're more likely to lash out and do certain things you don't normally would do because you don't understand the direction you just took. That's very true. That's very
Emotion,
true.
man. They feed off the emotion.
Yeah,
So they give you the good, not teaching you what really like what's entailed in what you're getting yourself into. So it's they know what they're doing, man. So,
it's true.
but some people they do learn. So I do talk to people who are looking like it kind of sucks because unfortunately we get people like they're this close to buying a house, and then
Yeah.
they see this credit card from from a predator loan like lender or whatnot, and they have to get that taken care of, and it's a process, man. So it's a lot.
Mhm. That's very true. Because it's so much to learn, but you can learn it. You just got to go through the steps. You
Yep.
have to take time and take a deep breath and reassess where am I going? What am I doing? And what do I need to get there?
Hmm.
Also, a part of that question, I want to ask you another thing too about the insurance. Do you think what is the age you think you should start thinking about insurance? Because you were talking about younger people. Because sometimes I'm young, I'm healthy. Why do I need insurance? And you already gave the reason why. Because when you get sick or someone dies, or if you die, heaven forbid, at an early age or at a late age, you want to make sure that your family doesn't have to struggle financially to take care of your funeral.
Hmm.
Do you think it's early? It's too early? Should 18 be too early?
No,
Should
I
you
mean
start
it could be.
earlier?
They can get a policy as soon as the baby's born if they need, like if need be. You know what I mean? So it really depends. It depends on the person's finances and their situation or what they have going on. But the earlier the better. I would
Yeah,
say to get a life insurance policy. So
that's very
and like
true.
there's different types of if you feel like, oh man, I can't afford. There's different ways or different types that you can afford, where you might even pay like $25 a month, $30 a month,
Yeah,
and that's like term life insurance.
yeah.
Anything else that has like life insurance, like it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But if you can't afford that at the moment, you can definitely do term. And
Mhm,
also with term, like some carriers, you can convert over into life, but
mhm.
don't wait too late because the older you get. So say like for term life insurance, they usually do like 10, 10, 15, 20, 30 year term. And then once that term's over, you can renew for it,
Yeah.
renew for a new one, but it's going to be a little bit higher because you're older now. So they
Mm.
take into account age.
That's
So
very true. That's very true. So that's like something. So it's best to start early. It's best
yeah.
to think about is saving early, and also not just myself. How can I protect my family? Or if I want to have a family, how do I provide them with an umbrella to protect them from the rain? Because the rain is going to come.
Yep.
Everybody's life is always going to be tragedy. It's always going to be inner or outer turmoil, either stuff that you brought on or brought on by the world around you.
Hmm.
So how do I provide that safety net to at least guide them in the right way by being consistent and talking to an advisor like yourself?
Hmm.
Because if I have a life insurance and I'm starting it, we'll just say 30 years old, and I'm doing it for the first time, and I'm getting the life insurance that you just recommended, which is about 20 to $25 you just said, I believe. And so I would just come in and talk to you about that. Okay,
Yeah,
like,
you'll talk to me, but like that's why we'll go over the seven money milestone steps to see where
mm,
you're at and do a financial analysis to see what works best for you, and
mm,
then go from there, man. So like it might be things where like I said, like you said earlier, a lot of people make emotional decisions instead of
mm,
logical ones. So my goal is to make sure that you make the logical decisions. For example, so say if you're doing a training and you have someone that's been going there consistently, and they're seeing the results, they're feeling good about themselves, but
yeah,
they hit a roadblock in regards to their finances,
mm,
and instead of getting rid of their wants, instead of keeping their needs, because that's what happens. Some people get rid of their needs and still keep their wants
mm.
for that temporary satisfaction.
Very cool. Very
So
cool.
my goal is to help them become aware. Like, look, you don't want to give up this personal training that you have with Golden Army Fitness, because this is what's been making you feel good. So let's take a look at your finances to see where we can maneuver or make some changes, so that way you don't have to give this up. But you have to be disciplined to do so. Some people don't want to do that, but I'm here to do that. So, like, if someone that used to be a part of the program and they want to continue to be part of the program, then we got to get a handle of what you got going on with your finances. you know
That's cool. Now, when they come in to see you, when they leave after the first initial assessment, and they decide, okay, I want to go forward with the process. Now, do you give them like a workbook or something to start checking off things, going into their house, going into their financial bag, going into their financial apps, as we talked about in the other video previously? Or is this just over the phone? Is it over email? How's the process to where they're not around you? Because, like you just said, it's all about discipline. Because I know you're doing a thorough guided process. What's entailed in that process
Hey,
after they
man,
leave?
we do Zoom, we can do Google Meets, we can do whatever whatever platform I can get on to if I can't if they're far away, you know what I mean? Because that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beauty of technology. Like
yeah.
I might not have to be in front of you, um but we can still have that intimacy where I can see you face to face. You show me what you
Mhm.
got going on with your finances, and we go from there. Like there's no time limit. Like I want to make sure that you get you to where you need to be,
Right,
financially. So,
right.
but yeah, like or in person, like they're here. Like I'll definitely I'll go to their house or apartment and talk to them personally and go over their finances and whatnot. And matter of fact, I think I said it in my last live. I had a girl that wanted to compete, and so I
Yeah, I
met her at the
remember
library.
that.
I met her at the library
Yeah.
at Robert Morris University. Well, not the library; it's like a computer lab. And we went
Okay.
over our finances. I'm looking at like, yeah, you spend about $700 on eating out. Like we gotta. And then like after that, like she was disciplined. Like she's an athlete, man. So she cut that out and she put that money down immediately for the training session. So
Mm.
it's just realizing you just gotta be aware and look at what you got going on. So
What do you think are some, okay, so in your line of work, what do you think are some of the main triggers, especially during holiday transition? Because we're in a holiday right now. We're still in somewhat of a holiday new year. We're going into the first quarter because we have more holidays coming up. We have Valentine's Day, and after that, we have more and more and more.
yeah.
What do you think are some of the keys to keeping financially disciplined as you go through these next wall of holidays? Because we already went through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. What are the next wall of holidays we're going to get? How do we stay financially consistent? What are some of the keys you think we should implement?
Looking at your account, being aware, like and not what's that word I'm looking for, and not if you set boundaries, for your finances, not
Mm,
overstepping them. If you set boundaries like, okay, this is what I got to do. Like, this is like, I'm not going to do this regardless of what I have going on right now. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like, then that's when you come up with a plan to build. Like, okay, I'm gonna save this much. This is how much I have to work with for the next coming of holidays. But like I said, it's all about being proactive and building those habits. You have to have those habits. You
that's
know.
very true.
Or
Even
talk to a financial professional. Like, look, this is what I have going on.
like
How can
you.
I how can I mitigate, or how can I work through this? And like, okay, let's take a look at what you got going on. And then it might be a no, like, you might not be able to pull that off, but maybe next year you might be able to pull that off. You know what I mean? Just because they
Mhm.
don't have it now. So hopefully that person that whoever you're getting the gifts for or understanding unless they're kids. Kids won't really understand until they get older. But it just like being aware, man. You got to be aware and look. Because
Mhm.
some people, like I said, like during the holidays and during the second batch of holidays that we have going on, they just swipe, 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 and worry about it later. Why would
Yeah,
you want to worry about it later if you can handle it now?
that's true. That's true. Because you want to figure out, okay, if I have a social life during the holidays
Hmm.
and I have a financial advisor that's telling me to be more consistent and break down the process, do I need, what did I say, a habit tracker? Something to track my habits,
Yeah,
to monitor my mental strains and monitor my triggers? Should a
yeah.
habit tracker be included in something like that as well?
I think you should. You should have a habit tracker, but you have to have the will to do it and fill that
Mm.
that habit tracker out. Like, you know what I mean? So
Oh,
people,
yeah.
we get all these tools. Like, for example, like um you can have a building, like you have a workforce, you have people working for you. All right. We put so much money into technology and whatnot. We don't put money into the people to build certain habits. You know what I mean? So without the people, all you have is stuff in there.
Hmm.
So as the same with us, like all we have is stuff. Like I have this, I have this, I have this, but you're not using it. You got to
Exactly.
use it. Like
Exactly.
oh, it didn't work for me. Did you use it?
Exactly.
I tried to work
Use
out
this.
but I keep gaining weight. Did you eat the diet? Did you try the diet?
Well said.
So like yeah, it's up to you. Like you can have all these like outside motivation that only works so long. You have to build that motivation within yourself, and that's what makes it. That's what turns it into discipline. You have to
Yeah.
do it.
Yes.
You don't have to start big. Like all right, I'm gonna have this big track, but maybe put like three or four on the tracker. Like okay, I can do this, do this, do this. Okay, that's easy. Now you keeping track of it. You see what the percentage is. Like, okay, I complete everything 100%. The other day I did 83%. Okay, now I need to adjust and modify so I can keep on doing 100%. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
have to. It's up to you.
It's a long haul. It's a long battle. It's not just a one shot fix all. Like, okay, my finances are good. I came to you. I'm rich now. I'm going to be rich tomorrow. I'm never going to have to deal with debt. No, these things are going to happen. You're going to be
Yep.
triggered. You're going to have issues in your family. You're going to have issues in the economy. There's going to be global issues. There's going to be shortages, food, water. These are different resources, and these things are going to either help you or stop you from living the life that you want. So you have to have that consistent routine of habits, just like what you're talking about, a mental mindset, a guided approach with an expert like yourself or another, because you have over 15 years of experience. So I would
Mhm.
come to you. I would come to you because you break it down in a very detailed manner. And also is a relationship. When you're talking about finances, we have to have a relationship because we're going to see each other for the next, what do you say, 3 to 6 months or
Mhm.
however long it takes. And
Yeah.
so I need to know that I can count on you and talk to you man to man or woman to man or whatever the process is. And having that right person with you really keeps you in tuned to where you, same thing with fitness. When you're teaching someone something for the first time, they may say, I know this, I know that, but you don't because you came to me. So
Mhm.
you need a
Mhm.
or you might deal with mental health issues.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with depression, but I know what it is, but I just don't know how to get to it. So what your job is to teach you how to get to it. I'm teaching you the steps. Now, of course, ideally, I want you to use every single step every single day, but you're going to have setbacks.
Yep.
Those things are going to happen. So during that process, what do you think they should do? Also, in that process, what are some of the things they should learn? Are there any books that they should read? Any mentors they should look up to as far as like anybody online that you subscribe to that you think are useful tools of information?
If you're spiritual and believe in God, like there's this bishop I follow, like I always posting her every morning. Named
I've
Bishop.
seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
Bishop. What Dale Bonner. Yeah, I think that's his name. And like I don't know something about him, like kind of like I I guess it fits me. Yeah, it fits me. So like I listen to this one sermon every day, every morning. It's called Powerful Strength. And the reason why would listen to it every day because the more you listen to something or watch something, the more aware you become of something that you might have missed before.
Absolutely.
So I listen to that every morning. A book that I would suggest to read or listen to is Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life.
Mm.
Um, and
Paradigm.
that's by dang, I can't think of the name, but it's Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. Can't think of the author's name. And because because there's a lot of stuff that I was doing, and I thought I was probably like, man, I might be a little bit behind my class, like why do I have to keep reading over and over again? But I realized I was doing it because it built awareness in me. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it. And he
Yeah.
mentions that, so he brings, like, he helps you bring, awareness on what you got going on and how to change those habits if you want to change it.
Mm.
Um, Another book to read, I would suggest, like, for men, The Man, the Moment, Demands. So it pretty much goes over the emotional availability and how to handle your thoughts and emotions as a man.
Okay.
That's by Jason Wilson. As women's concerned, like, obviously I'm not a woman, so I don't know what books would be good for
Well,
them.
if I find a book, because I've seen a few, I follow women motivational speakers and male
Okay.
motivational speakers, so I've seen a lot that can really guide us through the process of just dealing with the emotional barriers and the cultural issues that we face sometimes in our community in regards to finance. So I'm going to put some in the chat when the video is over, not in the chat. I'm going to put it at the end of in the caption section. So
Hmm.
all they have to do is just look that up, and they can find the information on YouTube, because there are a lot of individuals that we subscribe to that have so much information, but it's not distributed enough. Like yourself, you have a lot of information, and you need to be seen in a lot of different rooms, because what you're
Hmm.
talking about right now is very helpful. A lot of people need to start this from the age of 5, like we said. Even if you cannot do it in a school and you cannot get it in your community center, you should invest in these things in your own home
Yeah.
and go at a pace that's reasonable for you. That's
Hmm.
all that really matters at the end of the day. Your own pace will dictate your own wealth and your own abundance. That's what it's all about.
It is, and then, like I said, like, really harping on, like you said, like, taking it one step at a time, because I realized with myself, um, like if I do something, because I'm one of those ones, like, all right, I gotta jump all the way in, and then when I'm about to do it, now I feel overwhelmed. So, like,
Yeah.
now I'm working on, focusing on, okay, I'm doing step by step. This is what I gotta do. Okay, cool. Like, that works for me. That's perfect. And then also, I was looking up the books, The Financial Pocket Knife,
Okay.
Beating the Dream Killer. That's by James L. Stoddard. That's a good book to
Yeah.
read. And then what's another one that's good? Think and Grow Rich is a good one, and then also a good short book to read is The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. So it's a
Automatic
short
millionaire.
read, but, like, it pretty much give you a step by step of what they did, or what
Yeah.
it's like a fictional family, but based off real life events, but on what they
Yeah.
did to get everything set and situated in regards to their finances. So.
I like that. That's some good tools. I appreciate that. Also, I have one more.
Hmm.
Now, as we look at the global trends, what are some ways or some apps that we can look at right now that could actually help us look at some of the global trends that may affect our communities or may affect us? Because what happens overseas affects us directly. And sometimes when we think it's not really directly affecting us, it may be affecting the person next to us. It may be affecting the shop owner or the person who's our school teacher or the cop or the lawyer or the dentist, because we're in a global community, and when there's a financial difficulty in one person's backyard, it usually has a way of trailing into ours. What do you think some of the apps are that we can learn some basics to help ourselves?
Honestly, you might not even need an app. Probably books, because it's a lot of noise, man. So you don't know what what's true and what's being said, from the media and whatnot. It just there's a lot of information out there, man. That
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
So I know with me, in order for me to cut out the noise, I'm reading the books, and then, like, if I happen to catch something on trends or whatnot, um, I go back to the book. I'm like, okay,
Mm.
all right, that kind of makes sense. But then, like, you kind of put yourself in a rabbit hole dealing with all that noise, man. So, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really follow all that stuff, honestly. As long as I'm doing what I need to do, and it's been working. Everybody else that's been successful, or, seeing gains of what they're doing, they don't really pay attention to that noise, too
Mhm.
much. But it does have an effect on what's going
Mhm.
on. So, I guess that instead of the noise, learn how to look up, like, read up on the stock market. Yeah, keep it
Block it out.
narrow. Yeah, block it out.
Tunnel vision, narrow your focus, narrow your mind, be centered, and believe in your path. Even when you can't see the path, when it's foggy, Believe in
Hmm.
that path because it's going to take you. Even if you have to stumble through it in the beginning. Stumbling is movement.
Yep.
That's okay. Falling is movement. If you fall forward, that's okay. You'll catch yourself the second time you fall. The first time you're
Hmm.
gonna hit your face. You need to hit your face. That's important. That's your wake up call. The second time, your hands are gonna brace for impact. Now you stand up. It's cloudy, but now I understand what it needs to be done or what is needed to be done in my life. And I think that's the most important thing with finances. Understanding that you don't have to know it all. You just have to go through that mist and be scared for a few minutes.
Hmm.
Be in an uncomfortable place, and you'll get there because you decided to take the chance. And
Yep.
with experts like you and others who are there to help guide them, the process won't be as scary. It's so important to just try it. Try to understand your finances because it's not just about what you're doing right now. What are you going to be doing next year? What are you going to be doing in 5 years? You have to be consistently trying to get yourself in a system of alignment for financial supremacy. It's so important. It's nothing else. That's
You're
the most
playing chess,
important thing.
man. Like it's like playing
Yeah.
chess. Like, don't make the money make the money work for you. Don't work for the money. So
Absolutely.
because it's a never ending rat race if you keep chasing it. Like there's
Absolutely.
ways and strategies to make the money work for you. You just have to take advantage of it and have the will to do it.
Very true. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this live. Also, if you have any questions at all about what my brother has been talking about, if you have any questions that you have about your own financial issues or about someone in your family that's having financial issues that you want to ask him about, you can put it in the chat. Also, you can reach him on his page as well. Can you let them know what your page is?
Yep, it's I think it's the 7702 connoisseur, but Superset Financial. So
So you can send him a DM. He'll walk you through the process. He's a good guy, a good brother. I met this guy on LinkedIn. We've been talking ever since. We've been working with each other ever since. And when you meet the right people in this world, there's a reason for that. And so we're meant to create things together. And we're probably going to be doing more things in the future, I
I
believe.
believe.
I just heard myself talking. Okay, I believe. So that's just a confirmation. Oh, he
Yeah,
said, I'm
yeah,
asking about the
yeah. What's
barbershop.
going on, Neil? Yeah, that's my dude right there, man.
That's the other office, the barbershop when you get your fade, like yo, that's the other spot. That's the other
Hmm.
spot. I get that.
That's a
So
safe space
guys,
too, man. Like you can definitely get a lot of good talks out of a barbershop, especially the one that he works at too. So,
nice, nice. See, you could be doing it there too. You should be doing financial literacy in the barbershop more.
I know, definitely need to.
Partnership, man, discounts.
Yeah, I see what you did.
Ideas.
No, I pay him for what is worth, man. Like I definitely don't want to take away from his craft.
No, I know the brother's good. I know the brother's good. God bless. Go shout out to this brother right here too. I don't know the brother, but I have a feel this brother's
Yeah,
great.
Neil. Yep.
Yeah, go check him out at his page and invest in his business because we're here to invest in everyone and help everyone succeed. That's what we're all about. It's not about one person. It's about the community growing together. That's
Yep.
what we're all here for. Also, guys, if you like this program, if you like more programs like this, if you like to see more programs like this, if you have an idea of what you would like to talk about, or if you would like to come on here and talk about a story about your own understanding of life, financially or spiritually, or something that you're working on, feel free to DM me and I will interview you and I will bring you on the live because it's not just about someone who has a financial literacy degree or someone who has a wellness brand. It's just about everybody. Everybody's opinion is really important because your point of view can change my point of view and it can change the whole world because we're doing this all together and that's the realest thing in this world. Understanding that we're not alone in this world and that one person, when given the right place, can help everyone succeed. That's what we're here for, guys. That's it. End of the day. But again, guys, thank you for joining. I've been your host, Jesse, and this is my brother here. Let them know who you are
Here,
again.
Perry Murray.
Kerry Murray, the great from Pittsburgh. Your team is playing tomorrow, too. Your team is playing the Ravens tomorrow.
Oh well, that's not my team, bro.
That's not your
Like,
team?
nah, man, no.
Oh, okay, I got you. Never mind. I'll keep that
Nah,
out.
my team's Dallas, but we're not doing any good. So,
Woo, let's take that out the lie. Go ahead and take that part out the lie. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining. We appreciate you. God bless you and your family. Stay healthy mentally, physically, and financially. And also stay tuned for more lives. And also watch the repeat of this live. I'm going to put it up in the next few moments. I'm going to add some captions about what was talked about. And also share the live. Get more people involved. And if I'm doing this, you can do it. Start
Hmm.
your own live and talk about what the issues are in your community and how you can help them because your voice matters and it counts. Thank you, guys.
For sure.
Peace. God
Peace.
bless. See you later.
Bless you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.